What's up, 10 Skill Squad? Today I have a tale of woe. This disaster that has befallen me, it just had one of those weeks where everything is going wrong. I posted this little community update the other day. You know the old saying, misery loves company. I wanted you to tell me your tales of woe as well. And sometimes, things just don't go right in the world of RC, in any hobby really. And today, I'm going to tell you about my disaster of a week that I've had where everything has gone completely and totally wrong. Starting with my Outcast 8S. Last week, when Ethan and I went out and did some snowboating, which ended in complete disaster.
Oh no! Ethan, you broke it!
We also took out my Outcast 8S, and this thing has been a complete nightmare since day one of ownership, and I intended to do a little video about everything that had gone wrong. And wouldn't you know it, that day, even though we tested it here on the bench, we got out there and everything did indeed go wrong.
What?
Should have been.
Not.
It was.
How? What?
Yeah, the thing didn't work. We got out there, and now it was a cold day, but the thing just refused to do anything. The remote wouldn't turn on, and then when we got it turned on, it wouldn't turn off. The truck was completely and totally unresponsive. Maybe it was because of the cold. Probably it was because of the cold, but we decided we would just bring it back into the shop, let it warm up a little bit, see if it worked. It did. I took it out and did one jump, landed completely flat on the wheels, and shattered the rear wing, specifically the rear mount. I never recovered the screw from it. Look at my awesome fix on this wing. Ethan was able to go out and find all the itty bitty little pieces that came off of the thing, and I super glued them back together, and then I used 2-part epoxy and completely encapsulated the part of the wing that was just a complete jigsaw puzzle. I don't know if this repair is gonna last. I don't know, it might last forever, it might not last at all. But I was very generous with the 2-part epoxy, and hopefully it sticks together long enough to make a video, because I just, I'm so over buying parts for that thing. I'm completely over it. So after that big fiasco, I decided that I was gonna do a video that I always really wanted to do, which was building an RC from just stuff that I had laying around. And this is it. So this started life as the Fue, that little 12 scale short course truck. And it was really cool. We beat the snot out of that thing, and it handled it just fine. It did have a brush system in it, and I wanted to upgrade it to brushless with just stuff that I had laying around. So it turns out that I had a complete brushless system with a 2-in-1 receiver, servo, transmitter, the whole 9 yards. I had one sitting here left over from a different project, and I thought, perfect, I'm going to transplant that into the truck. I'm gonna get this old body that I used to run on my Red Cat Blackout way in the prehistoric days, and it's been sitting in my basement for years and years and years. I mean, this thing was just, it looked like an abandoned project. So I ripped the old system out, put the new brushless system in, cleaned up the body as good as I could, and it fits the chassis like it was meant to be. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna be awesome. Well, it turns out that I could not reverse the steering on the transmitter. So the steering was reversed. You turn left, the truck steers right, and vice versa. I thought, well, there are 3 wires that come off the actual wheel on the transmitter. And if it's like a brushless motor, you just reverse 2 of the leads, and that should reverse the polarity. And I thought, perfect. Rather than doing it through software, I'll do it through hardware. Took the thing apart, and it made no difference. The truck did still turn, kind of, but it wasn't great. So I took it apart again, tried to reverse the other 2 sets of wires. I tried every combination to try and reverse the polarity of the actual steering wheel and the transmitter, and I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Now, I know that there are little modules that you can put in line between the receiver and the servo to reverse the steering servo, but it was important for me that I not buy any parts for it, you know, just that defeats the whole purpose of the build in the first place. But at that point, I was so frustrated, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna shelve the thing, and we'll come back to it later when I have some different electronics. Which brings me on to this thing. This is my Traxxas Ford Fiesta ST Rally car. I've done a couple videos on this. This thing is actually pretty freaking awesome. I upgraded this thing to brushless pretty much immediately after I bought it, and it's basically just a low center of gravity 4x4 slash with some shorter arms on it and this epic rally car body. Now, the last time that I drove this thing, I actually hurt it pretty bad. I destroyed the gearing in it.
Yeah, you have no reverse now.
That's good noise. And after that, I thought now's a good time to rebuild the thing, got a new body for it, painted it up, put it all back together, set it on the shelf, and that was over a year ago. I thought I'd get this thing out and I would take it for another rip in its brand new paint scheme body thing. Well, after I rebuilt it over a year ago, I put it on the floor, did a couple rips around the shop floor, and everything was fine. Of course, then I set it on the shelf, pulled it out, stuck a battery in it, fired up the transmitter, and stripped the spur gear almost immediately. I mean, right off the rip. So I think, unfortunately, this might have a bent motor shaft in it. So not only am I going to have to replace the gearing, but I'm probably going to end up having to replace the motor as well. So that's what's been going on in the shop. It's not all bad, though. I don't want to come across as, you know, oh my gosh, woe is me, poor 10th scale garage guy, all of his toys are broken. As a little treat, because there's nothing super exciting in this video, I thought that I would share with you a little bit of what's coming up next, and it's all pretty good. We've got scratch builds, we've got kit building, we've got how-to videos, we've got budget spec stuff, and of course we're going to do one of my favorites and one of your most requested video topics, of this versus that head-to-head. And I am super excited to get those videos filmed. But first, I have to clean up the shrapnel, the absolute chaos that has befallen the workbench here. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you very, very, very soon. At least I hope so. You know, this might end in disaster as well. Who's to say?